You are watching a car crash in slow motion. You are the passenger. You see the oncoming headlights. You calculate the trajectory. You know, with mathematical certainty, that the impact is 3 seconds away. You scream. You reach for the wheel. You brace for impact. But the driver? The driver turns to you, annoyed, and says, "Why are you being so negative?" And then the crash happens. Glass shatters. Metal twists. Lives are ruined. And as you crawl out of the wreckage, bleeding and shaking, you wait for the acknowledgement. You wait for them to say, "You were right. You saw it. You tried to save us." But they don't. Instead, they look at the wreckage and say, "Who could have predicted this?" Or, worse, they look at you with suspicion. Because you saw it coming, they act as if you caused it, as if your noticing the danger was the thing that manifested the danger. This is not a metaphor. This is the defining architecture of your life. You see the breakup 6 months before it happens. You smell the layoff in the corporate air conditioning while everyone else is planning the holiday party. You sense the betrayal in the handshake while everyone else is applauding the deal. And you are exhausted. You are exhausted from being the alarm system that everyone disconnects because it's too loud. You are exhausted from being gaslit by the herd into thinking your vision is a sickness. You have spent your entire life trying to translate your intuition into their language, trying to find the polite way to say, "The house is on fire." Stop. Here is the brutal truth you are terrified to admit. You are not suffering from anxiety. You are suffering from accuracy. The world isn't ignoring you because you are invisible. They are ignoring you because you are a mirror reflecting the chaos they are desperate to pretend doesn't exist. Friedrich Nietzsche described those who have separated themselves from the herd not as lonely, but as those who have ears for the unheard. He said, and those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. You are hearing a music that terrifies them. For the next 20 minutes, we are going to stop trying to teach the deaf to hear. We are going to stop apologizing for the music. We are not going to learn how to fit back into the car that is destined to crash. We are going to learn how to get out of the vehicle entirely. We are going to take this curse of isolation and dismantle it, bar by bar, until it reveals what it actually is, the throne of the Creator. You are not crazy. You are just the only one who is awake. Let's begin. That specific type of helpless terror, sitting in the passenger seat, watching the driver accelerate toward a wall while they tell you to relax, is not a random event. It is a mechanism. And to stop it from destroying your sanity, we have to diagnose exactly why you saw the wall and they saw an open road. This condition is known as the Cassandra complex. In mythology, Cassandra was given the gift of prophecy, but cursed so that no one would ever believe her. But psychologically, this is not a curse of magic. It is a curse of perception gap. You and the people around you are operating on two fundamentally different operating systems. The people in the car, the herd, navigate the world using the map of social safety. Their primary drive is belonging. Their nervous systems are wired to prioritize consensus over truth. If the group agrees the road is safe, their eyes will literally delete the wall to avoid the pain of conflict. But you navigate the world using the map of pattern recognition. You do not choose to see the truth. You are afflicted by it. When you looked at that driver, you didn't just see a person. You saw the microtremors of distraction. You saw the pattern of reckless decisions they made 3 miles back. You saw the inevitable mathematical result of their behavior. It hits you like a smell. It is visceral. It is nauseating. And here is where the tragedy begins. Because you care, you try to warn them. You say, "Slow down." And they don't look at the road. They look at you. And they get angry. Why? Because you have violated the prime directive of the herd. Do not disturb the sleep. You think you are offering them a life raft, but to them, you are drilling a hole in their boat of denial. Their boat is made of everything is fine. Their boat is made of don't ruin the vibe. When you speak the truth, you are not a savior. You are a threat to their psychological survival. This creates the feedback loop that is destroying you. Step 1. You see the crash coming. Step 2. You warn the people you love. Step 3. They reject the warning and attack the messenger. Step 4. You internalize this as a defect in yourself. Maybe I am just being negative. Step 5. The crash happens exactly as you predicted. Step 6. They rewrite history to pretend it was unavoidable, and you are left alone with the burden of, I told you so, which you can never say out loud. This is psychological asphyxiation. You are breathing air that no one else believes exists. And if you stay in this cycle, it will turn you into something bitter. It will wither your soul. You must understand why this is happening. It is not personal, it is biological. Nietzsche understood something that modern psychology often misses. Humanity is divided into two distinct psychological species. There is the herd animal, and there is the sovereign individual. The herd animal is not an insult, it is a description of a survival strategy. For 200,000 years, safety was in numbers. To differ from the tribe meant death by exposure or predator. Therefore, the human brain evolved a powerful mechanism. Conformity is dopamine. Dissent is cortisol. When the herd agrees, they feel safe. When the truth enters the room and challenges the consensus, it triggers the same neural pathways as a physical attack. You are not fighting their opinions. You are fighting their amygdalas. Nietzsche described the last man, the ultimate product of the herd. The last man wants comfort. He wants safety. He wants a little poison now and then for agreeable dreams. He blinks and says, "We have invented happiness." The last man creates a culture of toxic positivity and willful blindness. And then there is you. You represent the chaos they have spent their lives building walls against. When you point out the shadow, the dysfunction, the lie, you are not just sharing an opinion, you are tearing down the wallpaper that covers the mold. They love the wallpaper. They need the wallpaper. They hate you because you are the reminder that the house is rotting. This is the crucial pivot you must make in your mind. You have spent your life thinking their rejection is a judgment on your worth. If I just explained it better, if I just used softer words, if I just waited for the right time. No, it is not about your delivery. It is about your frequency. You are a wolf trying to explain hunting tactics to sheep. They don't hear strategy, they hear predator. The loneliness you feel is the immune system of the collective expelling a foreign body. You are the virus of truth in a body that wants to stay sick. Nietzsche warns us, insanity in individuals is something rare. But in groups, parties, nations, and epochs, it is the rule. You are trying to be sane in an insane asylum, and the inmates are voting on your mental health. Stop waiting for them to vote for you. So, what is the alternative? If you cannot rejoin the herd without lobotomizing yourself, where do you go? Nietzsche charts a path. He calls it the 3 metamorphoses. First, you are the camel. You bear the burden. You carry the expectations of society. You say yes to the rules. You try to be the good person. You carry the heavy load of tradition and shoulds. Most people die as camels. But the truth teller, eventually, is crushed by the weight of the lies. You can no longer carry the burden of pretending, so you flee into the desert, and there you become the lion. The lion's spirit is the spirit of no. The lion confronts the great dragon, and the dragon's name is thou shalt. The dragon glitters with the values of 1,000 years. Thou shalt be nice. Thou shalt fit in. Thou shalt be silent. The lion roars the sacred no. This is your anger phase. This is where you cut people off. This is where you burn bridges. This is where you stop apologizing for your perception. It is violent. It is lonely. It is the destruction of your old life. But the lion cannot create. It can only destroy the old prison. To become free, you must undergo the final metamorphosis. You must become the child. The child is innocence and forgetting, a new beginning, a game, a self-rolling wheel. The child says yes, not to the herd, but to life itself, to your own values, to your own truth. This is the stage of the creator. The creator does not need the herd's validation because the creator is busy building a new world. The creator realizes that the loneliness was never a punishment. It was a clearing. You cannot build a cathedral in a crowded marketplace. You need empty space. The universe emptied your life of people who could not understand you, not to torture you, but to give you the room to build something that actually matters. We must make a distinction now, a distinction that will save your life. There is a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. It is a deficiency. It is the feeling of, I am missing something. It is looking at the herd and wishing you were warm inside the huddle. Solitude is the glory of being alone. It is an abundance. It is the realization that you are complete within yourself. Nietzsche said, 1 is a crowd, 2 is company. Wait, let me correct that. That is the herd's view. Nietzsche actually said, my solitude is my home. When you are in the state of loneliness, you are a beggar. You are holding out your cup to people who have no coins to give you. You are begging for understanding from people who do not speak your language. When you transition to solitude, you become a king in exile. You realize that your inner world is vast, that your perception is a gift, not a defect. In solitude, you stop trying to lower your frequency to match the room. You allow your frequency to rise to its natural height. And yes, the air is thinner up there. It is colder. But the view is infinite. This is the price of the ticket. You wanted truth? You wanted to see reality? You wanted to wake up? This is what waking up feels like. It feels like silence. You have to stop romanticizing the warmth of the herd. That warmth is the warmth of a compost heap. It is decomposing. It is stagnant. The cold air of solitude is the air of preservation. It is the air of the glacier, clean, sharp, real. You must learn to metabolize silence. You must learn to sit in a room by yourself and not feel panic, but power. So, how do you operate in the world now? You have a job. You have family. You cannot live in a cave. You must apply the law of silence. The Bible puts it bluntly. Do not cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you in pieces. This is not an insult to the swine. It is a warning about value. Pigs do not know the value of pearls. They can't eat them. They can't use them. Pearls are just hard rocks that get in the way of the food. So of course they get angry. Stop feeding your deepest insights to people who are hungry for comfort. When you see the truth of a situation, and you are in the presence of the herd, observe, assess, and hold your tongue, unless they ask. Unless they are genuinely seeking, silence is your shield. When you stop trying to convince them, a miracle happens. You stop resenting them. You stop looking at them as people who refuse to listen, and start seeing them as people who are playing a different game. Let them play their game. You don't need to tackle the quarterback if you aren't even on the field. Preserve your energy. Every time you argue with a fool, you leak your power. Every time you try to explain your intuition to a skeptic, you degrade your own certainty. Keep your truth sacred. Share it only with those who have earned the right to hear it. This is the discipline of the magician. The magician does not perform tricks on the street corner for applause. The magician works in the tower. But, you ask, will I be alone forever? No, but you will be alone until you stop accepting false company. Nietzsche wrote beautifully about the concept of star friendship. He describes two ships that pass each other in the ocean. They may cross paths for a moment, salute each other, and then sail on. They are friends, not because they are clinging to each other, but because they are navigating by the same stars. When you commit to the path of the Creator, you emit a different signal. You stop attracting the needy, the blind, and the conformist. You become invisible to them, and you start attracting the other lions, the other creators. These relationships are rare. You may only find 2 or 3 in a lifetime. But one conversation with a star friend is worth 10,000 hours of chatter with the herd. A star friend is someone who does not need you to shrink. They require you to expand. They do not want your comfort. They want your best. When you meet them, there is no exhaustion. There is no explaining. You look at them, and they look at you, and you both nod. You see it too. That connection is the only cure for the solitude. But you will never find the star friends if you are busy huddled in the mass, pretending to be a sheep. You have to leave the harbor to find the other ships. Let us be honest about the cost. This path is not easy. It is harder than ignorance. Ignorance is bliss, they say. They are right. Knowledge is responsibility. When you see the pattern, you are responsible for how you navigate it. You can no longer blame bad luck. You saw it coming. This is the weight of the crown. Sovereignty means you are the monarch of your own internal kingdom. There is no one to blame. There is no one to save you. But there is also no one to enslave you. You are trading safety for freedom. You are trading belonging for meaning. You are trading comfort for greatness. It is a heavy trade, but look at the alternative. Look at the faces of the people who chose the herd. Look at them in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s. Look at the quiet desperation in their eyes, the unspoken regret, the realization that they lived an entire life according to a script written by someone else. That is a fate far worse than loneliness. That is the fate of never having existed at all. You, in your pain, in your isolation, in your misunderstanding, you are alive. You are feeling the raw texture of reality. Do not numb it. Do not run from it. So, here is your assignment. The next time you are in that room, the boardroom, the dining room, the party, and you feel the glass wall descend, you feel the coldness of seeing the truth, do not panic. Do not try to break the glass. Lean back. Look at them with compassion. They are asleep. Let them sleep. Wrap your solitude around you like a cloak of royal velvet. Smile, a secret smile. Accept that you are the watcher on the wall. You are the keeper of the fire. You are not defective. You are advanced. You are not alone because something is wrong with you. You are alone because you have walked ahead. Keep walking. The others, the star friends, are waiting further down the path. But you have to keep walking to find them. Don't turn back. There is nothing there for you but a warm grave. Go forward, into the cold, into the dark, into the truth. That is where you will find yourself. Shine, anyway.